is. Unique Mecca Audio, man.
Mecca what? Mecca Audio.
All right, now I'm gonna be doing a little something. Where we doing something different. Me and my man Bootsie from Street Knowledge Podcast. We're gonna give you a little news brief of what's going on. We got the 5 alleged killer cops. We got the females that got arrested in the airport, and we got the 3 found dead in Detroit. Now, let's bring my man Bootsie up so I can get my man's opinion on this. You know, what's up, Bootsie? How you doing? Tell him who you are.
What up?
Tell him who
What's
you
good?
are.
Y'all know what it is. Your boy Big Bootsie, one of Harlem's finest, man. What's good, my brother?
No, everything good, man. Everything good. You know, I've been watching the news and I laid back to let everything play out because I don't like to jump on things too fast. But I seen these 5 black officers jump on this one young black man, and it's all type of different speculations as far as what went on with my man Tyre. They said that it was allegedly because, you know, he was dealing with a girl that liked his surfboarding and his smooth California way of, you know, moving, other than, you know, these officers or this officers, you know, the way he conducted himself. And she left them. They both were supposedly working at the FedEx. You know, all the job affairs go on when people work at jobs. They spend more time at the job trying to pay the bills because things are hard, and, you know, the romance begin. And, you know, from the romance, it could escalate into this negativity. Now, what do you think about this, big bro?
I'm saying, well, I heard about that as well, but let's don't forget about the white cop that they said called in a traffic stop or called in some type of way. I'm trying to figure out the connection to that. So was the white cop that wasn't even on the scene with them, was he a part of pulling him over for the guy, for his fellow cop, to help him out with the girl situation with actual Tyre? What you think? I'm confused.
I mean, the way that could play out, it could play out many different ways, you know, because you already know how, you know, we all look out for each other. So they might have put out a little personal APB, say, when you see this car going by, you let me know. I'm going to teach this dude a lesson. You know what I mean? It could have went like that. I'm just talking about, you know, just different speculation. So we're not saying nothing is specific as far as the way it went down. But bottom line, what I don't like is the fact that, you know, they had this unit put together in the first place, because that's the same way they had the TNT back in '88. When the TNT came out, first thing they did, they went on 140th Street and bodied somebody, and, you know, the mayor, you know, went along with it. And the same way with these, you know, this little task force team that they...
I think it's Zombie.
Yeah, well, something like that. You know what I mean? You know more than me about that.
It's
Scorpion. Yeah, Scorpion. You know what I mean? But now, the chief of police, the mayor, and all that or whatever, when it first went down, they went all on the news saying how they did so good. They got X amount of guns, X amount of arrests, and all this old la. But nobody looked into how it was being conducted. What I don't understand is, all that sounds like a setup to me, because you got 5 black cops. You know what I mean? I think when you have, you know, a task force like that, the same way even in the House and the Senate, when they put together these special housing committees, they put Republicans, Democrats, progressive, and put a variety of people on the team instead of just one specific, you know, person. That's a recipe for disaster, you know? Now, what do you think about that? Because I got my opinion on that. Let me hear your opinion on that.
Well, I think when they put together those type of forces, those type of units, they think they get special privileges. And I think they think that they can actually kill with a pass. And those cops, them 5 cops, actually abuse their authority, thinking that, well, cops in the past that actually shoot people on camera. And it's plain as day when they shoot them on camera, they have to investigate it for 6 months, and 9 times out of 10, the cop normally either gets off or spank on the hand. So they thought that they was going to get those special privileges by utilizing a personal affair, because it's personal with that guy, as you know, allegedly. So they utilized that and mixed it with the police thing, with their Scorpion unit, to actually harm somebody or actually kill Tyre. And I think that that's crazy, because why would 5 cops, if one of them is in love with somebody and got a problem with somebody, why would the other 4 want to help this cop and jeopardize their family, jeopardize their career, jeopardize, their whole life is going down the drain for this one situation due to the fact that they thought that they was going to get away with it just because they are police. But notice the white cop, like I just said a second ago, wasn't even there. He didn't even come and be around the situation, but he ignited the fire. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, but see, I don't want to focus on the white cop so much as look at the overall picture. And the police, no disrespect, they are ganging themselves, man. Let's stop the crap.
That's a fact.
They're ganging themselves. Like they say, the shield of blue, So everybody tried to look out for everybody because bottom line, they called the ambulance. The ambulance came, and the ambulance came based on the fact that they were saying that a dude was pepper sprayed and they wanted to check him out for pepper spray. Now, when the ambulance came, they saw this man laying down, beat up, face swollen every which way like Martin fighting Hagler in the Martin Lawrence show, Right. And they sat around for 20 minutes, lollygagging, drinking coffee, eating donuts, whatever they doing, while this man laid there with his illness, basically dying. You understand what I'm saying? Because they took the officer's word for it, that, it's about a pepper spray. But you can look at him and tell that it's more than a pepper spray. It took them 20 minutes. They added up the time. They said it took 20 minutes before the EMT responded, to trying to even look at this man. They just took the officer's word. That go to show that, in my opinion, that's all it is, my opinion, that they a gang. And they always down with it. The EMT with the white dude on it and the female, everything that was just going down. Everybody was, rolling with the cop. And if they could, they would have pushed it under the rug like they've been doing for the last 400 years, after slavery. It's just now we got technology. Big shout out to Bill Gates. Big shout out to Bill Gates and the technology. You know what I mean? Because if they wouldn't have had that street camera on the pole, the body cams would have never came out. And like you said, Bootsie, you right. It would have took them 6 to 8 months before they revealed what happened. But once that body cam, once that cam was on that pole and that captured everything, it was plain to see. The man handcuffed, they holding him, they giving him straight face shots, not body shots, face shots. And these are big boys. You understand? But I want to introduce you to something that I'm sure you don't know about, Bootsie, because I was locked up and that's how I was privy to it. They had some dudes that came into prison. That's why we made this like a prison story intro, because we dealing with prison. They had a task force out west also that would set up. As a matter of fact, I spoke about this when me and you was hanging out last time you came up. They had a task force that they went and they would set up young black dudes in the Midwest by telling them, hey, undercover police will go into the minority neighborhoods only and say, hey, I know where there's, a stash house that got 50 keys in it. They don't have no guns. All you need is a gun. Once you show them a gun, they're going to make sure that they surrender. They're going to give you the 50 keys. We all going to get paid. All I want is 10 keys. You keep the 40 keys, but it's a walk in the park. Just get a gun and meet me over here on Thursday. This is what they told them, the young black minority, So dude hear that 50 keys, all I got to do is show a gun, it sounds like a lick,
Right.
It sounds like a lick. Ain't too many people going to turn that lick down. I mean, not even Mecca audio. You know what I mean? They make it sound that sweet. You understand? So now, when they show up and the first thing the police ask them is, there's 50 keys in there. And they be like, yeah, so we going to go get the 50 keys. And they say, yeah. They say, okay, you got the gun? And they say, yeah, cause all we got to do is flash it. They say, all right, let me see the gun, make sure that the gun work proper and it look menacing enough. So as soon as they pull out the gun and they say, yeah, here go the gun. You know what I mean? Now they say you under arrest for attempt robbery of 50 keys. It was no stash house. It was no 50 keys. It was nothing.
Wow.
But now they locked up, and got indicted for trying to rob 50 keys out of a stash house and the keys and the stash house never even existed. And I met brothers that came in the federal system. That's how I know about
Wow.
this. You know what I mean? That had,
Wow.
discharged for 50 keys of beyond ghost dope. This is non-existent dope. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they was
Right.
doing that, and they dismantled that group also because they was like, hold on, if y'all trying to really do this, like that, to take the drugs off or take the robbers and stick up kids, why don't you go in white affluent neighborhoods and run this same sting? Why isn't
Right.
it only over in the black neighborhoods? Now, I
Facts.
say that to bring that over to them. They got 5 black dudes, and they're going to say, oh, because they can get in the neighborhood. No, you still need a variety of people so that you can have some type of chain of command and supervision. Who was supervising these black cops?
Right. And they're young.
And they look like criminals they damn self. You know?
That too.
You know?
Exactly.
Just to give you another one. I love giving my little stories. Just give you another one. The Wild Cowboys, back in the days in Harlem. You got the Wild Cowboys that used to get the LTD cars, that looked like the police TNT car, and they went and got the little police light. They put it up on the top. They got the police jackets, and they'll throw the siren on and come behind dope boys. You know what I mean? And,
Right.
flash the siren and tell you to pull over. You pull over thinking it's the police. They bust you in the face, throw you in the trunk, and tell you to call your man to get him $250,000. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So now here I go driving down the street. You know what I mean? And then I see these flashing lights behind me, the TNT. I'm already on the street. I already know about the Wild Cowboys. And then here go the same car, same description, same scenario, trying to pull me over. What am I supposed to do? But, you know what I mean? Bust off. You understand what I'm saying? Because my life is
sir.
in danger.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Anybody in their right mind gonna bust off. Right or wrong,
right.
family?
Yeah, I'd rather hold court right there in the street. For real, instead of just having them handcuff me up and just beating me down and I can't save myself, I'd rather try to get away. At least I won't just be me standing there. One of them gonna go with me, man. That's the fact.
They force your hand. So now here go this young black dude, Tyre. He driving, and they try and pull him over. They pull him over. The man asks him, what did I do? Like, what is going on? And he just wailing bong in his face. You understand? He get a chance and he run. They said he's like 100 yards from his house. When they catch him, his parents in the house wondering where he at, and he's outside the front door getting murdered.
That's crazy, man. And being that you said that, man, I was watching CNN with Don Metal. He had the mother and the father there. Don Lemon. He had the mother and the father there interviewing him, man. That was a sad, very sad interview, man. That woman had to fight to actually have this interview and talk about her son. And she said, during that time of the night when it was happening, she was having stomach cramps and she didn't know why. It came out of nowhere. She couldn't even, to the point where she couldn't even hardly walk. She walked in the room holding her stomach. And then come to find out later, she finds out about her son was being beat to a pulp. She said she was feeling his pain while they was beating him. It was coming to her while he was beating him, and he was calling for his mother, calling and say he's a mama's boy. He don't even drink. So they tried to use that as an excuse. She said that when she seen her son, his nose was shaped like a S. His head was swollen like a watermelon. His neck was swollen from the trauma. She said they beat him like a piñata, man. She couldn't even hardly really talk. Like, that was crazy. And the father was being strong. He said he had to be strong for them, but he couldn't understand why they would just beat him like that. And they was also saying that the paramedics, the fire people was there on the scene watching them beat him, basically waiting until they finish, so then they can tend to him. They didn't try to say, stop, hold up, what y'all doing, nothing. So they're being held accountable as well.
Exactly,
So
that's what I'm speaking about, that they waited 20 minutes before they did anything because they took these policemen word for it, because they all a gang and they all down with the same thing, and they tried to cover it up. Because you could look at him, like the father said, and see how disfigured he was, and they're talking about, oh, only treat him for, us stunning him because that's the procedures, But the man is swollen like a piñata. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
and they told the mother that she asked, can she go and see him. When the police came to the house, they told her no. When she talked to the people at the hospital, they asked her, why are you not down here? She said, the officers told me no, I can't come down there. So they was trying to, defer them from going, around the scene or around what was happening as long as they can stall them. And that's what was crazy. How you going to tell a parent that they can't go see that their child is in the hospital and for what reason? Which she don't know the law, so she probably just listened to the police tell them that. So the police know they was all the way out of line for this situation. I'm just wondering why one of them didn't just say, out of all five of them, one of them say, man, enough is enough. Stop. Don't do that. They all kept doing it. I'm wondering what they talking about to themselves in jail right now.
Listen, man. Listen, they was tag teaming that man like they was on a WWF. One held them, one, smashed them in the face. The other one tapped out and another one tapped in. Come on, dog. We saw what happened. That
Picking them up.
Listen, how do you trust a police officer that's supposed to serve you after they treat you in this manner? And I want to comment on when you said that the mom said she was feeling the pain. That came from her being spiritually connected, to her seed. Even though we come from the womb, we still spiritually connected, to our mothers. And that's why I don't respect no man that don't respect or love his mother. Whether she's a crackhead, she's a whore or whatever she's doing, that's still your mother. You know what I mean? Because that's who brought you here, that's who you connected to. And just like the Circus 7 with the Morris signs, people say when you're born that we're all spiritually connected to the biblical cord, and it's out there, and then when you die, then it cut, and then you leave this plane and transform into the next dimension. Now, I want y'all to speak on that spiritual connection, everybody in the comments. What do you think about that spiritual connection that the mother had where she felt the cramps like when she gave birth? You know what I mean? As they was taking her son's life. To me, in my opinion, that was the umbilical cord, that held him here on this plane, being separated from the mother as his life left him. She felt that umbilical cord being separated. That's the way I look at it. That might be a little spiritual right now. It might be a little deep for some of y'all to understand, but it's a damn good topic for us to get some dialogue on that spiritual connection that mama felt,
Nah, you absolutely right, because she also stated that he was a mama's boy. He come straight in the house and lay his head right on her. What you doing, mama? Call her every day, checking in, making sure, she's all right before he even come home. So you know how that is. Any person especially the sons, we always connected close to our mothers before anything. So that's exactly what happened with that spiritual connection. So you're not tripping. You know exactly what you're talking about, bro.
All right, because what I'm gonna say with that is also, I was in the Bronx one day. I was chilling about a month and a half ago, and my moms had told me when I left her, because I just see my moms gave her 100 kisses, 50 on each cheek, because I love her to death. And I leave moms and I shoot over to the Bronx. And mom was telling me before I went, boy, baby, just go home. You know what I mean? It's late, just go home. You know what I mean? I said, nah, I got to make a run first, mom. So I shoot over to the Bronx with one of the homies. And while I'm over there, I'm parked at a light. And somebody just ran into the back while I'm parked, sitting still for at least a minute, waiting on the light to change. Somebody ran into the back of the car. You know what I mean? Now, I jump out the car to run back because I done snapped into 1988 mode where I'm ready to rip his door out and rip his face off. And then my phone ring. And it was mom's. She said, baby, you still out? You need to go home. And at this time, I'm about to rip this dude's face off for running into the car. You understand what I'm saying? And I looked at the phone. And I looked at this dude. And I'm ready to put the phone in his face. And mom said, baby, whatever you doing, just go home. You understand what I'm saying? Just go home.
Right.
And she didn't know nothing what was going on. My mom's 87, we Jamaican, and so we spiritual. You know what I mean? But you know me, I ain't gonna tell you what I did because this whole new me. But you know what I mean? Trust me, it wasn't nice. I wasn't feeling it. But mama knows best, man. So that's where we at with that. And, I want to leave that now.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Fresh out the can of 26,
Yeah.
He back on the strip, getting back in the mix.
Yeah.
What he mentions a gift.
Right.
You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this.
Real.
Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit.
Yeah.
Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn.
Real.
Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.